Good evening, Canada. We are back with a new episode of Voice of Canada. Your host, Asphandiar Wadiwalla, my co host, Cindy Young. And I've got two lovely ladies, Angela Johnson and Harvina Sandhu, who manages Carabram Brampton Multicultural Festival since the last so many years. And this year also, they are going to give us a bumper festival. Welcome to our show and introduce yourselves one by one
Thank
to
you.
our audience.
Yeah, so I'm Angela Johnson. I live in Brampton. I've been involved with Carabram since 1986. I'm currently the president.
And my name is Harvina Sandhu, and I'm the chair of India Pavilion in the Carabram biggest Brampton Multicultural Festival.
Go ahead, Cindy.
And I'm Cindy Young, and I'm your co-host for this evening's show, and a very special welcome to our guests this evening. If you could please inform our audience some of the history behind the Multicultural Festival in the city of Brampton that you organize.
So Carabram started back in 1982, and it was actually the first chairperson was now the late Peter Robertson's wife, Joanne Robertson.
Wow.
She was the first person.
Founder.
Yeah, of
Organizer.
Carabram. So, that was back in 82. Back in 82, it started out with just 4 organizations. It was Italy, Ukraine, Scotland, and then it was called the West Indies Pavilion. Now they changed as they move forward to call it the Caribbean Pavilion. And they've been with the festival since the beginning. And it's the only pavilion that's still involved after all these years. So, kudos to them, that they've continued for 43 years. Different groups have organized the pavilion,
right.
Yes.
but at least they've maintained their
And year
status.
to year, they must be doing something different and improving the festival.
Exactly.
Amazing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Similar kind of festival is also held by Mississauga, city of Mississauga. So, can you give some views? What is the difference between the Carasaga and Brampton Festival?
Not a lot of difference, but of course, as you know, so Carabram was patterned after Caravan, which used to be in Toronto, but they called it Carabram to acknowledge the Brampton piece of it. And of course, Mayor McCallion liked what Brampton was doing, and so they started. I think it was about 3 years after us, they started Carasaga. And as a matter of fact, we had a German pavilion back then, and Hazel's son, Peter, was one time the chair of the German pavilion.
Wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
so Mayor McCallion always used to come to Carabram, and of course,
she was a wonderful mayor. A lady who served and who made Mississauga.
Yeah,
he
very
was the
much
founder
so.
of Mississauga.
Yeah. So, like I say, it started back then, and like I said, Hazel liked what we were doing in Brampton and decided that she wanted it to
Same way
Mississauga.
in Mississauga.
So they kind of learned from us.
Right.
Because Mississauga is a new city compared to Brampton. Brampton is a very old city.
That's right.
We can say it's a veteran city.
Like myself.
No, just with the respect. A veteran city. And now we even call it a rose city of Brampton.
We're the flower city.
Flower city, the rose city of Brampton.
Yeah, flower town. Yeah, that's right.
Each of the participating countries, if you could just let us know, what do they portray in this festival? And maybe you can both answer in your own way as well.
So if I could just start, we don't relate to the pavilions as countries. We do not use the word country at all. And the reason being is that we represent different cultures. So, like we have an Indian pavilion, we have a Punjab pavilion.
That's what I was supposed to ask you after reading this. I had a question for that.
And I can answer that question too.
Yeah.
So it's the culture.
It's the culture,
And I'm sure you can attest to it. I mean, I've never been to India, but I have a lot of friends from India. My cousin got married there. You go from one end of India to the other. It's different.
Yes.
There's a going part of
Each region.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So, we wanted to emphasize that by spreading our wings,
Nice.
And again, the reason why we use the word cultures is like We have a Caribbean pavilion. It's
Caribbean
not a country.
pavilion.
Right.
We have an
Right.
African pavilion. It's not,
Not
a
a
country.
Culture.
country.
It's a
Right.
culture.
It's the
yeah.
culture,
Yeah.
you know, and we really, really
Yes.
emphasize
Makes
that.
total sense.
And you know, we got into trouble some years ago, you know, saying, "Oh, but this is not a country. That's not a country. Why, you know?" And we said we emphasize we don't do countries, we do cultures,
Right.
and that is a very significant part of Carabram.
Yeah, I totally understand that. Thanks for
Mhm.
clarifying that.
Yeah.
So it's a culture. Could you inform us and our viewers? Because when I saw your program, I see India and Punjab. So Punjab is a province in India, but
Correct.
it's a culture also. Punjab is a
Exactly.
culture also.
Exactly.
And India has its own culture because India is a very large country.
It's got a British emphasis.
Emphasis.
Yes.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, Arvina, this question is for you.
Mhm.
You're also a well-known organizer of events around the year.
Mhm.
So would you like to throw some light what all you do during the year round along with this Carabram?
Yes, so there's many events which I do, and participating, promoting culture or cultural festivals is like one of my, favorite things, and especially the Karwa Chauth, which happens in October. But I got associated with Carabram, I think 9 years now. It's been gonna be 9 years,
Wow.
and being the chair of like India
Indian
Pavilion,
Pavilion, yeah.
and
Mhm.
it's so beautiful. The amount of respect, the amount of
Love.
love,
people give.
and just like
Nice.
how schools, different cultures. So as you know, India is like multicultural. So I have like from all north, east, south, west of India, and
It's got
everybody
many
wants
cultures.
to participate.
Mm.
So it's a very colorful, it's a very vibrant event, and which showcase 3 days nonstop,
Mhm.
and with multicultural, like I
Shows
said,
and all.
food and
Right.
for each pavilion. So
Nice.
it's amazing. So I'm so happy to be part of Carabram.
So just tell us that you have got about 8 or 10 culture pavilions. So they are spread all over Brampton with different
Yes.
locations.
Yes, absolutely. So, I'll just read from this because my memory's not that great, So this year we actually have a new group that's going to be doing the African Pavilion.
Mhm.
What we've done over the past few years, because everything is so expensive these
Definitely.
days,
Mm.
we've combined groups together,
Together.
cultures
Oh,
together.
wow.
So it sort of
Oh.
minimizes the
The expenses.
The expense.
Exactly.
Right.
So like this year we've got Africa will be sharing with Hawaii.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and Hawaii is a very, very
But it's the
popular.
cultures are both quite different. Hawaii culture
Yeah.
and the African culture are both very different.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
but that's fine because that's part of the attraction.
Right.
Mhm.
Right?
Absolutely. They can visit both at the same time.
Exactly. You're
Amazing.
to coin the phrase, you're killing two birds with one
Yeah,
stone.
absolutely.
But again, it's to showcase how we get on together.
Mhm.
Yes.
We can have two distinct cultures in the same arena,
Absolutely.
and Harvina can testify to this
Mhm.
because India and Hawaii have shared
In the
Gemma
past.
in the
Wow,
past,
wow.
So you come into the arena and
yeah.
you see Hawaii and you see
And the
India.
Yes.
And we're getting on together.
Very nice.
And
Why not?
this is
That
what
is
we
our
wanna
diversity
Yes.
and our way of
Yes.
multiculturalism.
at its
Right.
best.
Yes.
So so we've got Africa and Hawaii. They're at Taramilla. Canada, they're in their own space. It's what used to be called the Brampton. It is still the Brampton Masonic Hall. It's on
Mhm.
Clark Boulevard. Ronald E. Grosha is one of the founding members, I believe.
Mhm.
At Central Gardens, we have a huge hub there. We have the Caribbean Pavilion, we have the
Nice.
Philippines
Oh, wow.
Pavilion, and we have what we call the Pavilion of Cultures. That was introduced by our current Vice President. It was his initiative back in 2018 because it is expensive to host a pavilion. There's no doubt
Yeah.
about that. So what we did is groups that weren't able to afford
them.
to stand alone.
Oh,
You merge them with the other culture.
what a great idea. Yeah.
Exactly. So in the Pavilion of Cultures, like we have a whole different set of, we represent Brazil, Colombia.
Yeah.
We used to have Peru. We've got Indonesia. We've got Italy. We've got Japanese. We've got
Nice.
Mexicans.
Wow, wow.
Wow.
Portuguese. We've got Ukraine.
But they are merged into various pavilions.
Yes, so it's one big arena, and they have their
The
booths
little
there.
areas or
booths and the
booths
countries
and-
they represent
oh,
and
nice.
And then
manageable.
we
Yes.
do the entertainment for the whole weekend. This year, Vietnam, they participated, well, I think pre-COVID actually,
Mhm.
and they're coming back this year, so that
Very
we're really
nice.
excited.
And they have
about
got a rich
Nice.
culture. Vietnam has got
Exactly,
a very, very rich
exactly,
culture.
Exactly.
And they are coming out on the open into the world now. They're opening to the world.
Oh,
People are
absolutely.
visiting Vietnam now. Tourists are visiting Vietnam now.
Yes. And just if I may do a little plug, because they're my friends, David Gent and his wife,
Mhm.
his wife is Vietnamese and Chow, and they had a flower shop by Conestoga
Uh-huh.
and Kennedy.
Mhm.
Then they sold it, but she's a refugee from Vietnam. She's written a book, and she's gonna have it at the pavilion this year. So
Very good.
we're really excited,
Nice.
So we're gonna
Mhm.
do all the autographs and stuff like that, and really promote her book.
Oh, very
So we're
good.
excited about that. So back to Century Gardens, it's a real hub. One of the things that it helps with is getting around. Many years ago, we used to
Mhm.
have transit. We can't afford it anymore because our
Right.
funding is not
It
what
was
used-
free, no, previously.
Previously, it was
Yes.
free, and that was way back when
Wow.
Mayor
Yeah, you would just
Fennell-
get on
I
the
was still
bus
I
and-
was still
yeah.
thinking that the transit on 3 days, people having passports, they can ride free from pavilion to pavilion.
Exactly. So we've been
Yeah.
trying with Brampton Transit to get them back on board. We can't afford it.
Right.
However,
But in Mississauga, it's free still.
oh, that's a whole different conversation.
No, I'm just
Oh, I know, because
Transit is free
as a matter of
Wow.
fact,
with the passport.
one of our pavilion chairperson wrote to Brampton Transit saying, "Oh, this is what Mississauga is doing."
It's
My
the same
way-
region. It's the same region.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we're trying with Brampton Transit to get them back on board as a sponsor.
They should do it. It's a promotion for the region.
Yeah. So that's a whole other story that we can get into. However, this year, through someone that I know very well, we've used their service last year because we have judging that goes around to the
Oh,
all the
right.
pavilions.
That's
The pavilions.
We have judges, right?
Yes.
So it used to be they would go on and actually many years ago it was Ward's Funeral Home.
Wow.
They used
Oh,
to
yeah.
donate their cars and the driver.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, it's kind of funny, you
Amazing.
show up at the pavilion in a Ward's Funeral Home.
That is a
Yeah.
little
But-
bit unpleasant.
No,
Everybody.
it wasn't. They supported us and they were a sponsor, and that's what they did.
They were the
you know.
sponsors.
Yes. So they drove the judges around. So anyway, this other company, they drove the judges around last year, and this year they said, "Oh, we'll do the shuttle." So we've got the free shuttle coming back this year.
Very good.
You know,
That will encourage more visitors.
every year,
Yes.
every year I get calls, I get emails saying, "When are you bringing back the buses?"
Buses, yeah.
But because even
Makes it a lot easier for sure.
Well, this is it. And combining groups
Yeah.
as well, the different
Yeah.
cultures together. You don't have so many places to go to,
Right.
so it reduces your travel, especially with the price of gas as it was
Yeah.
after
Very
COVID.
true,
You
very
know,
true.
so
Just takes the
it's-
traffic off too and the parking, all that.
yeah. Because even right now at Century Gardens, there's some construction going on there.
Yes.
There's not a whole lot of parking there,
No.
and even
That's right.
last year before the construction, parking was prime,
Yes.
So anyway, so moving on, we've got at Jim Archdeacon, we've got China, we've got India, and we've got Nepal.
Nepal.
Oh.
Again, that's another huge hub.
Mhm.
And just to interject a minute, see, seniors can travel free on Brampton Transit.
Oh,
Right.
I see. Very
Yes.
good.
However, Jim Archdeacon, there's no bus service there on the weekend, so it
Mm.
doesn't help. You gotta
Yeah.
walk.
We'll be
Mhm.
taking a short break and we'll be with you shortly. Welcome back after a short break in our weekly talk show, Voice of Canada. Your host, Asphandiar Wadiwalla, my co-host, Cindy Young. And we have got two beautiful ladies from Brampton. They hold a festival, and today they are talking all about the festival, which is taking place in July for 3 days. I would like to ask Angela to continue what she was explaining.
Yeah, so just to continue, we've got ELAM, which is the Brampton Tamil Association. They're at the
Mhm.
Save Max Sports Centres, which is at Sandalwood and Dixie. And then Ireland, which is another
Yeah,
pavilion.
Ireland is a beautiful culture.
Mhm.
Yes,
What
they've
a
been around
beautiful
for
culture.
quite some time. They're at the Lions Hall on Avondale. And I mentioned Philippines is at Century Gardens. And then we have Punjab. They're moving down to the curling club.
Curling club.
Ideally, they like to be in South Fletcher's Rec Centre, which is
Mhm.
now called Susan Fennell Recreation Centre, because the community there, the Punjab community down there, is huge. Right at the corner of
Brampton is governed by Punjab community. You can't say they are totally now the owners of Brampton. We always laugh at Neil Patrick Brown, the mayor. He says we have to survive. Harvina is there in
That's
between,
cute.
the negotiator.
Yeah, that's cute. That's cute. Yeah. So so we're happy that we're gonna have shuttle service, and we're hoping that this will bring back more.
Try for the
folks.
shuttle
Yeah.
service. I would suggest, because people will have access to go from pavilion to
yeah.
pavilion.
And you don't have to worry about getting
But
in
yeah,
and out of your
just show the
car.
passport
Yeah.
and they can
Absolutely.
take you, and you come back and come
Exactly.
back to the same spot, go to your car
And
and
go to the next
move
one.
out.
Right.
And we introduced it years and years ago. I mean, once upon a time, we used to finish at midnight.
Mm.
Mhm.
And some of the issues was, drinking and driving. People
Driving
didn't
and
want to be
crime
drinking
and all that
driving.
thing.
True.
So, having the buses was a real asset.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
And safety for
Very
the
much so.
visitors.
For everybody.
Very
And because
much
the
so.
visitors are not only from Brampton,
No.
they are from everywhere, all
Mhm.
cities of GTHA.
That's right.
They
Yes.
love to see Brampton and visit the
Yes.
festival and
Exactly.
show the culture to the children.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This is the reason. I've got one extended question for you, Angela.
Oh, dear.
That, as you know, we all belong. Mississauga, Brampton belongs to region of Peel.
Mhm.
We have got another small city, Caledon, in our region, and we are very protective towards that city. Even the mayor I'd invited, she came and spoke about Caledon. So, is it possible to hold a similar small festival in Caledon with
We-
the cooperation of Mississauga and Brampton?
You know what? We would love to do it.
Mm.
And as a matter of fact, we're looking at potentially having one location. We've been trying for years to have, much like the Paramount Centre. You got
Right.
that big
Mhm.
location there. But the only place in Brampton was Parade Centre, which is now CA Centre.
Mhm.
And we've tried unsuccessfully to use that a few times. But the Brampton Fairgrounds, which is in Caledon,
Yes.
is a potential site that we
Mhm.
would look at in the future. But we would love.
That's just a suggestion, because they feel isolated in the region.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because the mayor came and had a lengthy talk with her, and she said we must be given protection and given patronage by the two big cities.
You know what? I'd be happy to go and meet with her. I have friends
grow.
who live in Caledon, because
She's a
We-
lovely lady.
we tried with yes,
Lovely
very
lady. I
much
know,
so.
I know her since she wanted to be into politics.
Very much so. Very nice lady. We tried with another city to
Collaborate here.
bring a Carabram to that city,
Mhm.
and it didn't materialize. But absolutely,
Caledon is possible because of same region, and they will
Yes.
fully cooperate, and that
Yeah.
will give encouragement to the residents of Caledon,
Mhm.
because now it's getting populated.
Oh
They are
yeah,
issuing the housing permits and
Mhm.
all. I did
Yes.
speak. Previously,
Really
they were not
growing.
issuing permits and all. There were some restrictions. But now she says, no, we are giving, and lots of new
that's
residents
wonderful.
are
I'll
coming.
reach out to her. I'll
Do
definitely
reach out to her,
because
and
we can have the same thing modeled there.
Sure.
a
you know.
small mini festival.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And that will encourage, and people of your Mississauga and Brampton and other places will go and visit that.
Yes.
And
Festival
even,
too.
doing it at the Brampton Fairgrounds, which is in Caledon,
Yeah.
would be an ideal location. And I'm sure there are other places too, but I'm not really familiar that much with
And now
Caledon.
you must be knowing that the MP of Brampton is representing Caledon also. Brampton, North
Ruby.
Caledon, Ruby.
Ruby, that's right.
Mm.
So,
That's right.
so this is
Yeah,
a merge,
so,
part and
yeah.
parcel of it.
Yeah, we can have that
And
discussion.
she
with
is
Ruby.
very happy. I asked her the same question. She says, oh, I love Caledon. I
Mhm.
love the mayor.
Mhm.
They are very cooperative,
I
very
like
good
her.
people. Only recently before the election, she was here with me,
Great.
talking to us.
Okay, well, you can let her know that I'll come and
Definitely,
meet with her
definitely.
after Carabram. This
Definitely.
week.
I will convey that
It's
message.
too busy right now.
What's that? Yeah, a little busy.
Yeah, it's a little busy right now.
Boy.
Yeah.
This question is also for Angela. If you can inform us how many awards and recognitions you have earned to date.
From memory, most recently, we were the Brampton Garden Reader's Choice Award 2 years in a row, 22,
Oh.
23. But then, of course, 24, we don't have the physical paper anymore. You know, we don't. It's an online thing. But last year we were awarded through the Brampton Board of Trade the Vibrant City Culture Award from the Brampton Board of Trade. So that was quite nice, actually. The Business Excellence Award by the Brampton Board of Trade in 2024. So, you know, we're hoping to win other awards, you know.
Definitely.
And, you know, even though it's nice to have, it's not the
Recognition
be all
gives-
and all, you know.
recognition
we just
always
wanna
gives
be
a little-
there. Yeah,
Makes you wholeheartedly to
Yeah.
do the.
and that's why, you know, we didn't do it this year, but you know, we put it in the passport last year.
Mhm.
Diamond Award for 22 and
Oh,
23,
very nice.
and then the Brampton Board of Trade Business Excellence Award in May of last year.
Very
And
nice.
do you all give any awards to the pavilion, the best pavilion?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And that's why we have the judges.
Judges,
It's totally independent of the board and anyone. And
non-party judges.
yeah,
Not
you know,
pretty, yeah.
I'm putting it a little non-party, we call that.
that's right.
Because city is a non-party organization.
That's right. So, you know, we have judging the most passports sold, you know, for a second and third prize. But that speaks for itself. But we have entertainment, food, atmosphere, and decor and
In
culture.
the pavilion
Right.
only of that various cultures.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
So the judges, you know, and it used to be the judges would turn up, you know, unannounced, but sometimes the pavilions, you know, we've had feedback and said, you know, we prefer to know so that
When
they
they're
can
coming.
prepare,
Prepare,
which is fine.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
Fine.
so,
It's not a.
so now, you
Mm.
know, the judging coordinator comes to our meeting and she said, okay, so what time is your best performance on? What
So they
time
can
do you-
come and witness.
Exactly.
That's
exactly.
fair. It's a fair deal.
It is, you
Yes.
know, and
Nothing to hide.
no,
Yeah.
none whatsoever. And you know, and it's not to be competitive per se.
Right.
It's to just maintain the standard, you know, of living up to what is the expectation of Carabram, what we're all about. Because I remember in the past, and I know a few pavilions used to say it way back then when I was chair, oh, you know, why are they judging us, you know, and blah, 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 blah. But one of the judges at the time really put things into perspective for me and said, it's not about judging the culture, it's how you present,
Present
it.
That's
and
presenting
improve the
it.
quality of the
Right.
festival.
and to
Yes.
maintain that
Yes.
standard. So
Sure.
if we don't, people just say, oh, well, we don't need to worry, we don't need
We don't have
to
to
make
really
that
do a whole
extra
lot,
effort, you
yes.
know. So, yeah.
Yeah.
My question is for Angela, the organizer.
Oh.
Does the city of Brampton fund this festival?
Yes, we've been getting funding since 2014, actually. I
Because
think.
the
No,
revenue
no,
is
but-
earned
no,
by
but-
the city
the-
and the vendors.
No, we're independent of the city. They don't
Mhm.
run the festival.
No, they don't run, but
No.
they fund you.
Yeah.
They
But,
give you some funds to run, to organize.
And it was Mayor Fennell who started that funding
Yeah,
program.
Fennel was a great lady.
Absolutely. She's been a fantastic supporter of Carabram ever since she became mayor. And she started this funding. And we used to get a lot more money back then, which is why we could afford the buses. And we would get some in-kind things now back then. But yes, now we get 65,000 from the city.
Very good.
Mm.
It's
Very
a promotion
good. But here's the kicker. We pay it back to the city
for the
Right.
for the
charges,
rental.
rentals and all.
rental,
you know.
Now the rental
Yeah.
reasonable or city is not considered for that also.
No. I mean, right now we're looking at paying back over 60,000 in
My
rental.
God, that's not fair.
Last year-
Okay, by taking by win, but
It's a lot. Yes.
Unfortunately, it's the way the dice has been rolled.
Because
Right.
Last year we paid 54.
it pays revenue.
Oh, yeah. So it's gonna.
This festival earns revenue.
Yeah, but it's not only that. It's the putting Brampton. We're already on the map, but you know, it's a promotion of Brampton, the tourism aspect, the cultural
Absolutely.
aspect, etc., etc. You know, in addition to paying for the rental of the different locations, we have to rent staging because none of those facilities. It's a hockey arena,
Mhm.
so we have to rent staging. We rent the backdrop, which Harvina knows very well about. We have to rent extra chairs and tables because we're going into arena. They don't have a lot of chairs
No.
and tables.
So they need extra, definitely,
We need
to
extra chairs.
promote their pavilion.
Yeah, because the vendors need
Yeah.
it. They need chairs and tables to watch the shows. We have chairs, and then we need tables where people can sit and eat.
Yes.
So it's a lot of
It's a lot of
equipment.
extra stuff. Yeah.
That's
Equipment
right.
is required
Yeah,
to
yeah,
give a
absolutely.
presentation, proper
That's right.
presentation.
Yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
I know you talked a little bit about the judges coming for the food and all of those kind of things. How many food vendors are set up for something like this with the ethnic food items that you have? And what other kind of products are on sale or that you can purchase at any of these events?
With the food vendors, we have over 40.
Oh, wow.
Very, very
vendors,
good for
because
different cultures.
Yeah, because
Oh,
across
different.
the board, I'm not sure exactly how many food vendors. I can't remember off the top of my head that the Indian pavilion has, but some will have 2 or 3.
Right.
Different varieties. Like the Caribbean, they'll have somebody who's selling jerk chicken
Jerk
or
chicken,
whatever,
popular
Right.
ones, yeah.
different things. from the
Japanese
Carib-
with the sushi and all stuff.
Exactly. And with the China pavilion too, they also have several food vendors, not selling the same thing, but
Right.
different. So-
Yes.
So overall, it's 40 to 50.
Wow, that's a
between-
lot.
That's
different.
quite a lot
Yeah,
of it.
you know,
That's a
right
lot,
across the
yeah.
board. And then you have all the other vendors that are there, and I think I made a note of that. It's almost 100.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness.
The
It's like
Very
different
good.
jewelry and
Oh,
clothing
the
and
henna.
art,
Culture, the
artifacts
clothing
and
and artifacts and whatever they can give
culture,
for the country.
anything which relates to them. You know,
and I can speak for
yeah.
Harvina can speak for all the different things.
Yeah.
The clothing is big in
Yeah.
a lot of the in pretty well
Yeah, yeah.
most of the pavilions.
All
I would
pavilions,
say.
yeah.
Mm.
The different
Artificial
different-
jewelry and
yeah,
all
The
everything.
jewelry,
yeah.
Okay. My question is for Harvina. Harvina,
Nice.
your pavilion is very popular.
Hmm.
You produce real great entertainment shows at your pavilion,
Yes.
and it gets maximum publicity. I witnessed that. So I really salute you. You
Thank
really
you.
work hard for this pavilion,
Thank
and
you.
you really give the culture of India to the people of Canada, not only
Thank you.
Brampton, people of Canada.
Thank you. Thank you.
Because I read the reviews and all about the Indian pavilion.
Hmm.
So would you like to say something?
Yeah, so it's like I said, I'm so happy to be part of Carabram. Angela has been a great president and
A mentor.
great
Yes.
mentor, all the board members, and it's like a family.
That's
It's
good.
like
The
we
cooperation
work as a
extended to-
family.
Yes.
So this year, I'm so excited. We're working with sharing the pavilion with China and Nepal.
Oh, wow.
So there's 3 cultures and countries there,
Nice.
and it's going to be a beautiful, vibrant.
Amazing.
We
Yeah.
wrote every hour. It's going to be China, then it's going to be India, then we have
rotation.
Nepal, and it's like a mini world tour, right?
And
So
Nepal also has a great culture.
yeah,
Yeah.
Related to India only.
yeah.
And that's what they like. Sorry to
Mhm.
interrupt,
Yeah,
but like Nepal said,
Yeah.
like we're close to China.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
having-
And Mrs.
Yeah.
Nepal is
Yeah.
very popular.
Yeah.
She came to my show also. She's everywhere.
Right. But the
Excellent.
main thing is, just showcasing the culture and
Absolutely.
different. Like, there's a lot of hidden talent
Definitely.
in Brampton.
Oh, huge.
So
yes.
Yes,
if
that's
anybody
lots of
had
amazing
that
talent.
opportunity where
to portray his or
I
her
want to
talent.
I want to promote my new business.
Mm.
Then a Carabram is a wonderful
Place.
if I want to dance, I wanted to have
Perform
that
a dance, yeah.
opportunity to go on stage. Carabram is that opportunity. Let's say and there's a lot of students, they want summer volunteering.
Volunteering.
So we
And you can give the
Carabram-
house also.
yeah,
You can sign the house.
Carabram give hours as well. So there's so many opportunities, like I said, for new businesses, for sponsors. If you want to be a sponsor, let's say even banks, they can contact Carabram. But each pavilion has their own chair. And if you go on the website, carabram.org, you can click on the culture
You get
or
all
country.
the details.
And each chair is there. All the names are there. The numbers are there.
Very
And
good.
if you want to perform in India Pavilion, you just click on India and my number is right there.
And contact Arvina.
Yeah, contact her.
She will make you a star.
But like I said, it's a fun festival. You know, kids under 12 are free. It's summertime, you know, and as you know, with
It's a
the
fun time.
So it's a
Everybody wants to
fun
enjoy
weekend.
Yeah.
the heat and the
Yeah.
summer because
Yes.
our summers are very short
Right.
and Canadians
Especially
wish
this
to
year.
utilize.
And kids get bored, right?
Yeah.
Kids
Yeah.
get bored. So, and some people, they can't afford going Jamaica or going India, going
Right.
anywhere, right? So, like with Carabram, each adult gets a
It's a full
passport.
day of fun or
But
3
even
days of
yeah,
fun.
but
Yeah.
even the little kid gets a passport, and then every pavilion we have a stamp.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So you come to India, you'll get an
It's
India
a-
stamp. So
Visa,
then
you mean.
yeah,
It's
so
a lot getting
so
the
it's like a
stamp.
visa. So
Well,
it's
that's why
fun
we
stuff.
do
That's a
that. You know,
passport.
you're-
We say the name
it's a
passport.
passport. Exactly.
And it's so fun, and there's like
And
so
the kids love it.
yeah,
Oh,
and in
yeah.
each pavilion, you know, they host like separate contests or lucky draw or something. You know, I know India and China, we have something big planned. So, you know, it's always good. It's, you know, bring your parents out, bring the kids out. This is a family event. And like I said, it's amazing.
Thank you. We
Oh,
are running
yeah.
short of time.
Mhm.
The red light is giving us a signal
Uh-oh.
that
Okay.
how the time has flown today.
Mhm.
So I would like to thank both of you, Angela Johnson, Arvina Sandhu.
Thank you.
Finally, can you give a final remark?
Sure, I'd love
one
to
by one.
because
Yeah, give a final remark and
so
comments.
the festival is the weekend of July 11, 12, 13, and you can go to our website carabram.org for a lot more information. We're going to be at the farmers market June 14, 21, 28, and July 5th. On June 28th, we do what we call a taste of Carabram.
Carabram.
Yeah.
It's just a preview, and we sell passports all 4 weekends. And the preview is going to be on the 28th. We call it a taste of Carabram. It's going to be by the Rose Theatre in
Oh.
Garden Square. So from 9 till 1 p.m. on the Saturday at the
Saturday.
farmers market.
Give us if you can give us an invite, we'll definitely participate.
Oh, absolutely.
Our show, and we
Yes.
can even give a little news in our news section.
That would be
Definitely.
awesome. Yeah.
Definitely.
Get Arvina.
Amazing.
Arvina, would you like to give a final remarks?
Like I
Comments?
said, you know, it's the second weekend of July. You know, the kids are out of school. This is something where you can show the kids a mini world tour just happening in Brampton. You know, it's a beautiful festival. Any questions, go on the website, carabram.org. Each pavilion is there. Each location is there.
Beautiful.
And if you need to get passports, you know, you can contact one of the chairs or buy them online. And, you know, please bring your parents out, please bring your kids
Friends out.
friends out, and like I said, if you want to dance, if your culture has that talent, or if you want to be a volunteer, you want to be a vendor, you want to be a sponsor, contact Carabram, contact each pavilion. We are here to promote you.
And Arvina will allow you to do bhangra and balle balle also.
Yeah, definitely. We have everything.
Can
So,
I
Yeah,
yes,
go
sorry.
ahead, please.
I just want to make one final part and comment, if I may. If you look at our logo, it says celebrating cultural diversity,
Mhm.
communicating, educating.
Education, yeah,
Yes.
very good, very
That
wide
is a very
Love it.
key component
component
of
of.
Carabram.
Yes.
And we say to the pavilions, when someone comes to your pavilion, it's a friendly environment. They can ask questions. You wouldn't knock at your neighbor's door and say, why you do this, why that.
And it's a warmly welcome wherever
It's a
we
warm
go. Yeah, warm
welcome,
welcome.
yeah. Learn something.
Yes.
That's why you're there.
True,
you know,
true.
ask. Don't be
Love
afraid to
it.
ask. You know, for explanation. But you must be educated. Come away with something
Yes.
more than just the good food and the good music.
Love it.
Thank you, both of
Thank you.
Thank
We
you.
are
Thank
really
you.
running out
Sorry.
of time. We have exceeded our time today. But
Thank you.
anyhow, thanks a lot. You all
Thank you.
both came from your hectic schedules, and we appreciate it. And you gave so much information of Carabram to our viewers and to everybody listening and viewing our show. So with that note, I would like to say good night, goodbye. God bless Canada. God save our King.
Amen.
Adios.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Adieu.